What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Moe Ninja Girls. So it's been a while. I'm aware of that. It took a while to read through season 8, but we're back now. I've got everything finished up and ready to go. So I'm excited to play this again. It's kind of funny. One of my newer subscribers thought that I quit this game. I was sitting here thinking, when did I say I quit? I mean, just because I didn't post it for 3 months doesn't mean I quit. It just took a while to read through. So, because I do have a full-time job. So I don't always have, and usually on my weekends I'm doing other things, so I don't prioritize one thing over another. So, yeah, that's why it took a while. But, no, I didn't quit. It just took a while. But, we're back at it now. I'm excited to see what happens in this season. So, let's just get into it. So, as per usual, there will be some spoilers for anybody that doesn't play the game. So, if you guys do play the game and aren't up to this point, then watch at your own discretion. Otherwise, let's just get into it. So, Season 8. A lot happened in this season. This one, in my opinion, almost tops Season 6. Because Season 6 was probably still one of the better seasons in my opinion. But this one was pretty cool, I thought. So, anyway. So, to start things off, we open where we left off in Season 7. Now, everything is still white, and the MC is concerned about what's happening to his friends. Now, as the white clears, we see the Empress, Xena, right? Now, it turns out that she put up a barrier to shield from the blast. Now, her shield helped protect the NSC from the blast as well. Now, NSC, it's the Ninja Seeking Club. I'm going to refer to them as NSC from now on because I don't like having to say Ninja Seeking Club every single time. Just make things flow a little bit easier. So, anyway. The Tycoon is impressed that she was able to withstand it, but he figures that she won't be able to do it again. Now, he says that his agents have surrounded the facility. Now, this shocks the Empress as there's no way they would have gotten there that fast. Now, it turns out the Tycoon had some of his agents infiltrate the Crow. Now, he did that so that he could help her finish her research. And then with that, he now has access to all of her weapons. So he even admits to using his own granddaughter as a pawn in his scheme. Now that he has what he wants, he has no need for any of them anymore. So he gets ready to fire the weapon again when Akari comes in. Now, she tries to attack his projection, but he fires some lightning at her. Now, the lightning hits his mark, but surprisingly, that didn't slow her down. It turns out that she was using her Shadow Clone Jutsu. So the real Akari was right below him. Now, he gets ready to strike her with lightning again, but she has something even bigger prepared. She performs a Flame Jutsu, which is the same one that the MC used during the fight with Ikiru. So the MC is impressed that she managed to replicate it perfectly, even though only seeing it once. So with the Tycoon distracted, Yamabuki creates some magic carpets, which I guess in Japanese they're called Itan Momen. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So they all get on one and escape. Now the Tycoon just looks on and sees that they're gone, and then one of the Obnubi agents asks if they should go after them. But he says that they're not important enough to waste resources. So he says to just send a few ninjas to deal with them. Now he has the rest gather what they need out of the facility and destroy it when they're done. So we cut back to the group, and the MC notices something on Yamabuki and Miyu's carpet. Now he asks Miyu what it is, but she doesn't want to tell him. Rika says that it's the Empress. Miyu didn't want to leave her behind since she saved them. So they brought her with them. Now Lily asks him what they should do about her. Now he says that they might as well bring her, but Lily says that they should still remain cautious of her though. Now the Itan moments start to fade, so they have no choice but to land, and they're trying to decide what to do when an Onubi agent spots them. Lily cloaks herself and manages to sneak behind him and destroy his communicator. Now she aims another attack directly at him, but he manages to block it with his bare hands. Now, it turns out he's wearing one of the crow rings. So he uses a water jutsu, but Rika manages to freeze it. Now, the MC uses the opportunity to run towards him and attack. Now the Obnubi ninja melts the ice back into water and attacks again. Akari gets some well-aimed shuriken on the water attacks, and the MC strikes him down. So after the battle is finished, they regroup and decide their next move. Since their enemy is now Obnubi, they need to find someone that has no connections to them. Lily proposes that they head to school first to find Kuzuryu and see if he can help. She goes on ahead first to make sure he's safe, and the other follow behind. Once they get back to school, they stop by the dorms so Rika and Miyu can change, since obviously they were captured for all that time. When they get there, Miyu senses a presence nearby. So they hide in some bushes, and they see another Obnubian ninja waiting at the entrance. Now Lily finds them and tells them that Kuzuryu is safe. He's actually hiding in the student council head's secret room. Now he's waiting for them to hear what has happened. Lily's only concern is that the Empress is with them. She's wondering if revealing the location of their hideout to her is a good idea. Logically, if they just leave her, then she could be captured again. Now, she could have valuable information that could help them stop the tycoon. So, in this one, there was a choice that you had to make, so I chose to just bring her with us. So, we cut to the secret room, and then they give their report to Kuzuryu. He feels that the reason that the tycoon betrayed them was because of what happened 30 years ago. You know, with the whole secret mission with Obnubi and everything. That was when the Nine-Tailed Fox was resurrected the first time. Now, at that time, the wielder of the Kamui was Kuzuryu's friend. He made a promise to protect the seal on the fox, so that's why he started the school in the first place. Now, the school wouldn't exist without the tycoon's help, so he was confused as to why he turned. So, as they're talking, they hear a noise outside the room. It turns out it's Sai and Akari's mom. So, Akari's mom is there because she wants to tell Akari and the MC more about their roles. Now, she reveals that the previous wielder of the Kamui was her father. She steps towards them to tell them more when she recognizes Xena on the floor. She says that she used to be a friend of hers when she was a ninja. Now, she's not ready to talk about that just yet, so she goes back to her story. So, after her father died, her grandfather entrusted her and Akari's father with the Kamui. When Akari's father became sick, he couldn't watch over it anymore. So he chose to give it to someone that he trusts, which is the main character's father. This means that the MC and Akari's parents came from the same village. So Akari and the MC share a deeper connection than they realized. During their conversation, Xena wakes up. Now, seeing as how they saved her, she agrees to tell them what the tycoon is planning. Not sure what to make of that, they turn to Enju. Enju would like to know more about what her grandfather is planning as well, so she allows it. So Xena reveals that he wants to increase demand for ninjas. One way he intends on doing that is sending ninjas overseas to start wars. Now, the greater the conflict, the more need there would be for ninjas. Now, the group doesn't see how that would work, as not all the villages would go along with it. That's why he stole Xena's weapons. Whoever doesn't fall in line will be killed. One blast from the fox weapon could decimate any small village. So Xena formed the crow with the intent on stopping him. However, she ended up hurting innocent people in the process. Her justification was that in times of battle, sacrifices need to be made. After this, she refuses to say anymore as she feels her debt has been repaid already. So she turns to leave, but the group surrounds her. Since she used up all her strength, there's no way she can beat all of them. Knowing she's outnumbered, she turns to Sai. She gives her an order to defeat everyone, but Sai doesn't know what she's talking about. Xena makes a comment about her being broken, and the MC tells her to stay away from her. Xena reveals that Sai is actually an anti-ninja android that she built. The MC thinks that's ridiculous since he found her at Miyu's village. Now, he feels that Miyu should know her, but she doesn't recognize her. She didn't even know her name. Now, the MC still doesn't believe it, so Xena tells him to look in her eyes. When he does, her eyes look mechanical, kind of like camera lenses to some extent. Now, Xena says that she built Sai with the help of Enju's mother. They intended to make her as strong as the Nine-Tailed Fox. They weren't sure giving all that power to a sentient machine was a good idea, so they chose to make the fox weapon something that could be operated manually instead. Xena knew that the Tycoon was attacking villages long before the weapon was finished, so she sent Sai to Miyu's village as a pawn to throw off his plans. Now she wants Sai to come back with her so she can analyze what went wrong with her. But Sai refuses to go, and the MC won't let her take her. Now Xena is annoyed, but she doesn't press the issue any further. Now I thought this was kind of interesting. I felt like maybe Sai was short for cyborg. This was my guess, but they haven't actually revealed that. They haven't really went into any much more detail about that, so. But anyway. So, Kuzuryu makes a suggestion for Xena to stay. Now, both sides have something that each lacks. Now, she needs people to fight for her, and they need information to help in the fight. So, Xena agrees to the arrangement for now. As a sign of good faith, she gives them the antidote for the jellyfish chocolate. She kept some in case something went wrong. Now, she didn't have enough left, but she says with Sai's functions, they could analyze the components. She turns to leave, but Miyu calls her back. She wanted to thank her for saving her and Rika from the Onubi ninjas. Now, Xena doesn't give a reply, merely just stares at her. And then Akari's mom asks her if she'll be alright on her own. Now, she says having to deal with everything is tiring, but she'll manage. Now, Enju tries to ask her about her mother, but she'll only tell her after they take down the Tycoon. After that, Xena leaves. So, Kuzuryu asks the MC if he'll take one of the pills to the student council head. He feels that she could be very helpful when the time comes. So, the group sneaks into the hospital after hours, and they give the antidote to both the student council head and Johnny, and they leave. As they're walking, Enju can't help but stare at Sai. She feels since her mother helped build her, she might know something about what happened to her. After they finish their conversation, the MC feels a presence nearby. He doesn't think it's malicious, but just somebody checking on them. But he doesn't think any more of it, and the group heads home. They get to Akari's house, and they realize they have nowhere to go since the dorms are guarded. So Akari's mom offers for them to stay over. Now, Lily refuses as she still wants to patrol some more to check for more Onubi agents. So then we cut to the Tycoon speaking to some Onubi ninjas. Now, he's angry that they haven't been able to find the kids yet. Another agent reveals that Xena was spotted around Onubi headquarters. Now, the Tycoon wants to prioritize her, so he gives the order to move all the men back to HQ. As they leave, he's getting ready to attack another village. So, the next morning comes and they all leave Akari's house. Since they can't go back to the dorms, they're unsure what their next move is. So Enju suggests that they go see Kuzuryu again. Before they can do anything, having a base of operations is a good idea. They also need to take Sai to help analyze the formula for the antidote. So back at school, they notice that the Onubi patrols have left. Kuzuryu tells them they were all called back to HQ since the Empress was spotted there. The school should remain in peace for a while. Now they're trying to think of their next move when Yamabuki looks worried. She says that she should probably sit out the fight. Now the MC is confused, but he doesn't press the issue any further. Kuzuryu says that she knows important people, and if she gets too involved it could be problematic. Now the MC wants to know more, but it's not Kuzuryu's place to say anymore. So Kuzuryu wants to wait for Lily to return so they have a day to relax. The MC still has concerns about Akari being involved in the fight since she hasn't been a ninja for very long. She says that even though she has no experience, she doesn't want to run away. It's kind of hard to argue with that, so he lets her stay. With nothing else to do, Rika, Akari, Sai, and the MC head down to the secret room. Now this part was kind of funny. It's like Rika tries to teach Sai how to play Tetris, and since Sai is an AI, she picks it up quickly and pretty much stomps Rika multiple times, and she gets kind of butthurt. Yeah. So then Kuzuryu comes in and says the equipment isn't ready yet, so he gives them some vouchers for the bathhouse. Later that night, the group sleeps in the secret room. Kuzuryu didn't get the equipment set up in time, so they just had to call it a night. Now the MC hears a noise and he turns over to see Rika sneaking out. He follows her to the rooftop. She remembered when she first got there. If the MC didn't convince her to stay, she would have went back to the village to be punished. She had no friends back at the village, so being at school was the first time she had fun. Now that her friends are in trouble, she doesn't know what to do. So she asks the MC about the Kamui's power. Now he says he doesn't quite know how to use it yet. So the next day, Kuzuryu calls them in, and Lily is actually waiting for them too. She shows them a map of the mountains with 5 red X's on it. The X's represent a village that the tycoon has destroyed. The tycoon is advancing much faster than anticipated. So the MC feels that in order to stop the tycoon, he needs to know more about the Kamui. So he has to go see his father. Since he's a Ronin ninja now, returning to the village might be difficult. Then the student council head comes in. Looks like the antidote worked, so she's feeling much better. She has Kuzuryu write up a letter to the village saying that she's returning with 3 students. Since she is well respected there, they can't say anything about it. Rika wanted to return as well to face her past, and Ducati wanted to see where she comes from. So the next day, the group heads out. Now, it was a long trip, but they almost get there, and Ducati is surprised how far in the mountains it actually is. The student council head says the ninja villages used to be closer to civilization. Some villages ended up being abandoned because of land developers. Now these villages have become much more scarce. Now the group gets to an area, and the MC says that they have arrived, but Akari is confused as there are just trees around. The MC tells her to take another step forward. When she does, the forest instantly transforms into the village. The village is evidently surrounded by an invisible barrier. It keeps regular people from finding it so easily. Now that they're there, Akari asks the MC to show her around. Since that's where her parents are from, she really wants to know more about it. Now, the student council head is worried that they'll be late, so she hurries them along. So they arrive at the MC's family home. A ninja that works for the MC's father comes out and greets them. The ninja gets one look at the MC and immediately turns away. So the student council head asks to see the chief. Now, the ninja says that her letter stated that they would be coming the following day. So because of this, the chief is away for the day. Now, she gets annoyed, but the MC tells her it can't be helped. So they're going to have to stay overnight. Before the ninja goes back inside, he looks at Rika and the MC and calls them worthless. Yeah, calls them worthless Ronin ninjas. That's what the line was. So, it was whatever. So now that they have extra time, Akari still wants to see the village. So she asks to see her parents' house. Now, the student council head takes them there, but there's not much left to see. Evidently, no one has lived there for many years. Akari takes it in with sort of a... I thought of it as like sort of a blissful feeling, I guess, while the rest of the group just watches in silence. As the evening draws near, they've been wandering the village the whole day, when another family spots them, but they run inside and shut the door, because I guess it's kind of like they were afraid of them, to some extent, or they just didn't want to be associated with them. So this makes the MCs start to feel even more unwelcome. Now, the student council head is concerned since they need a place to stay for the night, and out of options, she offers to take them to her house. Apparently, she still has students that stay there to look after things. Now, the MC has some concerns, but since everyone else is fine with it, he goes along too. Akari hurries on ahead, but she stops to turn back to Rika. She asks her about her family home. Now, the MC is curious as well, since he's never actually seen her in the time he was there. Now, Rika is shocked by the question, but she answers anyway. Now, her parents actually died when she was young. She stayed with a lot of people, but didn't exactly have a place to call home. As she got a bit older, she went off on a training journey, which explains why the MC never saw her. Now, Akari feels bad, but Rika says she's not upset over it anymore. So the student council head tells her that since she's her student now, she'll always have a home. So, they get to Kikuko's house. I think I'm going to start calling... I started referring to her as Kikuko from this point because as like before, saying student council head is just a pain in the ass to say every time. So we're going to call her Kikuko from now. So they get to Kikuko's house, and the MC is actually surprised how well kept it was. Now they get ready for bed, but the MC can't sleep. So he steps outside for a moment. Now Rika comes up to him and asks him to follow her. She leads him to an empty field. She tells him that that field used to be her home. When she was younger, she wasn't progressing as quick as the other kids during training, so she would get left behind a lot. So she went to that field to cry, hoping that her parents would come. Now, one day in particular, she got lost in the mountains, and a boy actually found her and helped her. Because of this, she wanted to become a stronger ninja. That's when she left on her journey. When she got back, that boy became a Ronin ninja. And she was shocked and angry, and that's when she got the assassination orders. And when she met that boy again, he didn't remember her. He was much different than she had imagined. Now, hearing all this, the MC thinks that she's talking about him, which makes sense, right? But she says it's just an old story and has nothing to do with him. And it's like, So after that, they start making their way back. When they get back to the house, they notice a dark figure looming around. Now, the MC shouts out at him, and the man is surprised that he doesn't recognize him. When he hears his voice, the MC freezes for a moment. It turns out it's his father. When he heard that they arrived early, he came back to see them. He didn't think that his son was among them. So it doesn't take long before this guy becomes a massive jackass. So first he flirts with Rika, then calls her weak, then says the training must have paid off because she looks stronger. I'm like, really? Then he starts banging on the door. Kikoko comes out, then he flirts with her too, but then says he doesn't like the young girl look. And then Akari wakes up during all the commotion and steps outside. Now he sees her and he walks up to her. He says that her features look familiar. When he finds out that she's a Hanao, he's ecstatic, then starts flirting with her too. And then Kikoko tells him to stop harassing her students. With that, they get down to why they're really there. He asks Kikoko what she wanted to talk about, but it's not her that wanted to talk. She looks over at the MC. Now, she tells him that he wants to learn how to use the Kamui. He says he's not going to tell a spoiled brat that has to have others speak up for him. So Akari tells him that if they don't learn how to use it, then it could mean trouble. Now, the chief already knows about the tycoon and his plans. Part of the reason he was away was because he was gathering intel. He says he doesn't want to get the village involved. Since the Kamui is from the village, he asks that they keep it out of the conflict. This sets the MC off as he essentially calls his dad a coward. He throws the Kamui back at him and says he'll destroy the weapon himself. Now he storms out of the village and the rest of the group follows. Now the girls are trying to talk some sense into him, but he's too deep in his thoughts to listen. They bring him back to the house, but he's still in his little bubble inside his head. So it takes both Rika and Akari to bring him back. Obviously with some lewd stuff. I just left that out because it wasn't really important, but... So anyway, Kikoko and Rika get the futon set up, and Akari and the MC are still outside. Now, Akari asks him what happened with his dad. And he says nothing happened. That's just how their relationship has always been. Now, he never actually had a mother, and his dad was always hard on him. He was never allowed to play with the other kids because he was constantly in training. So he doesn't remember his dad ever being nice to him. Now, Akari doesn't know what to do, so she holds him in a warm embrace. Now, Kikoko comes out, which surprises the MC, so he throws himself off Akari. And then Kikoko tells them that since they don't have the Kamui anymore, they need a new plan. She asks the MC if he has any ideas, since he spent most of the night brainstorming. So there was another choice I had to make here, so I chose for everybody, like the whole NSC as a whole, to come together to put all their ideas together, and then maybe they can come up with something good. Yeah. So since there's more than just them, you know, like the group here, at least one of them should have a good idea. Now, for a moment, the MC regrets getting rid of the Kamui. They tell him that since he's saved them so many times, it's time for them to return the favor. So we cut back to school, and the rest of the team is still working on the analysis of the chocolate. Now, Enju steps out for some air, and Lily returns from her surveillance. Now, Enju still can't believe what all has happened. Now, she still wants to know what happened to her mother. Xena appears and asks her if she really wants to know. Enju's tired of being kept in the dark, so she demands answers. So Xena gives her a key card that leads to a secret room in Obnubi headquarters. She tells her that she'll find her answers there. So the next morning, the MC, Rika, Akari, and Kikuko return from the village. Now they go to brief Kuzuryu on what has transpired. He's shocked that the MC gave the Kamui back, but he understands given his past there. So they'll have to discuss a new plan of attack. But first, Kuzuryu has a new mission for them. Now the Tycoon resumed operation of the Jellyfish Chocolate Factory. So he wants them to infiltrate and shut down their production. Lily and Enju left for Obnubi, while Miyu and Sai are still working on the analysis. And Kikuko wants to stay back to find out more about what's happened to all the villages. So it's just going to have to be the three of them. Now the evening rolls around and the group is searching for the factory. They arrive at a shopping district as marked on a map made by Kuzuryu. Now the MC finds it odd that the secret entrance to the factory would be there. He turns around to see what Rika thinks, but she isn't there. She comes running with bags in her hands. Now she went to buy food. So they stop and eat for a little while. A few hours later, they find the factory. They see a couple of workers leaving the building. Akari gets ready to run in, but the MC stops her. He feels like something is wrong. A few moments later, an Obnubi ninja is seen walking around the perimeter. He tells another agent on his communicator that he'll be heading back to HQ after patrol. So this means that they'll have to wait before they try to break in. Now, Akari sees the man heading right for them. Now, the only hiding place is behind a dumpster, so they all squeeze behind it. Now, they wait behind the dumpster until the guard leaves. And then once he's gone, they sneak into the building. Now, it's fairly dark, but they can see the machines. Now, Akari doesn't want to destroy them as the people running the factory are innocent. They had nothing to do with what the Tycoon is planning. So the MC figures since the machines are so old, they're most likely not injecting the poison directly. So he suggests to keep an eye out for something out of place. Now, Akari spots a scroll inside the machine. Like a little charm kind of thing, a spell charm. Now, the MC can't reach it to pull it off, so he asks Rika if she can freeze it off. Now, she does, and then crumples up the paper and puts it in her pocket. Since that was all they needed to do, the group leaves. Now, back at the shopping district, Rika gets a text from Miyu. It looks like the analysis is going well. So all the pieces seem to be falling into place, they just need Enju and Lily. So we cut to Obnubi headquarters, and we see Enju and Lily. Now, they're back in the room where they met Xena. And it looks like the Tycoon has already been through there as there are papers scattered everywhere. Underneath some of the mess, Enju finds a logbook. Now, Xena actually wrote down about her experiments. And she said that she created the Fox weapon to stop the Tycoon. Now, she couldn't do it by herself, so she enlisted the help from Enju's mother. Now, with this, Enju believes that her mother is still alive. As she says this, the Tycoon comes in. And he tells her that she's dead since she betrayed him. Now, Enju asks him why he's doing all of this, and he tells her that eventually ninja villages will fade into obscurity. He wants to make sure ninjas are around for years to come. A lot of these villages are so stuck in their ways, gentle persuasion won't be enough. So, if he has to threaten them, then so be it. The ends justify the means, as he puts it. So Enju tells him that she doesn't want any part of his ideals. Now, he's disappointed, so he tells his agents to capture her. Lily intervenes and tells her to escape and to bring the papers with her. Back at school, the group returns and reports to Kuzuryu. Now, Enju crashes into the office very distraught. She tells them about what happened and begs them to save Lily. They give her a moment to calm down before asking for details. She tells them about the information they found and how the Tycoon found them. Akari is ready to go rush over there, but Kuzuryu tells her they wouldn't make it as they are. As they're wondering what to do, Xena appears. She tells them that Lily was able to escape, but she'll be recaptured if they don't get to her. They ask her where she is, but she'll only tell them in exchange for the journal. So Enju gives her the journal, and she tells them that Lily is in an area in the mountains. So we cut back to Lily as she gets cornered by more guards. Now it's starting to become daybreak, so Lily's shadow jutsu won't be effective. So the MC comes behind one of the guards and knocks him out, and then the rest of the group takes care of the other guards. After seeing all of them, Lily kneels to the ground and lets out a sigh. Now, she asks them how they found her, and the MC says that Xena told them where she was. And Lily tells them that Xena was the one that helped her escape. Now, she moves to stand, but she drops back to the ground in pain. Now, the group tends to her injuries and they head back to school. They get back to find Kuzuryu hiding with Sai in the secret room. They're hiding because now that they've halted some of the Tycoon's plans, he will take notice. So they can't sit on the side, so they can't hide, go underneath his radar anymore. So now he's going to know what's going on. So they go over the blueprints for the Fox weapon that Enju and Lily found. It has some pretty complicated formulas, but Lily is able to read a lot of them. She says that the weapon is actually incomplete. They need another power source to truly unlock its full potential. Apparently, they've been searching for the Beast Seal scrolls. Now, this shocks Miu, as her initial training was to find one of those. Back in, I think, what was it, season 3? I don't remember, it was a while ago, but yeah. But it turns out her village was in charge of protecting those scrolls. So when the villagers escaped, they must have took them with them, as they didn't find any when they went back. Now Lily reads more about how to destroy the weapon. It says that the power comes from the one that can control the nine-tailed fox. The only one alive that can do that is Ikiru, and she's trapped inside the machine. So the only way to destroy the weapon is from within. Now it turns out that Sai is supposed to be the one that's supposed to go inside and I guess run amok. And then once the weapon is destroyed, Sai will no longer function. Now the group is against that idea, so they have to come up with another plan. Now Miu proposes, since the weapon gets power from the scrolls, maybe they can use them to suppress it as well. So if they return to Miu's village, they could probably acquire some to use. So with the Momochi clan's danger sense, they've been able to avoid the Tycoon so far. So it would only be a matter of time before they get caught. So they have to hurry. So Kuzuryu sends out a letter to let them know they're coming. So they can't leave right away with the newbie guards still lurking, so they have to stay in the secret room again. Now, we cut to later in the night, and the MC finds Rika up late training in the forest. He tells her not to push herself too hard and starts to head back. Before he can leave, she jumps on him and confesses her love for him. Now, unsure how to feel, he stays up late contemplating what has happened. So, the next morning, the group gets ready to board a train towards Miu's village. Now, they get off at the station closest to Miu's village, and the group has to walk the remainder of the way. Now, Miu briefs everyone on what to expect when they get there. Since her village works with familiars like Fu, pretty much everyone has one. So the group arrives at the village, but it's quiet. A woman appears in front of them, which turns out to be Miu's mother. Apparently, the village was attacked many more times after the first time. So most of the villagers have since left. Now, she came back after receiving the letter. Now, when she sees the MC, she thanks him for repeatedly saving her daughter. Now, Lily steps in and wants to get down to business since it's an urgent matter. Now, Miu's mom understands and invites them in. They arrive at Miu's home, and her mom shows them where the scrolls are. Now, they have to look through all of them to see which ones could help. But the problem is they're written in an old language, and neither of them knows how to read them. Just when they were starting to give up, Miu all of a sudden starts reading one of the scrolls. Now, they speculate that maybe the scroll chose its user. Now, since Miu is from the village, she would have the power to use them. However, Miu isn't fully trained yet, so she wouldn't be strong enough to use it. So Lily asks her if she can read what the scroll says. And it says something about controlling familiars. Now, familiars use a different kind of power from ninjas. They gain their power by manipulating the heat around them. If they can control the heat, then the power won't be effective. Now, Rika has ice powers, so she can be the one to cool the weapon down. But they still have to seal the power that's within. Thinking this, the MC looks at the Izumo hanging around Akari's neck. Since it was created specifically to seal the fox, that's the only play they've got. They don't have the Kamui this time, but since it's just the blood of the fox that they have to suppress, the Izumo should be enough. So Akari has to get really close to the weapon in order to seal it, so there are a lot of risks involved. But it's the only plan that doesn't sacrifice Sai, so all they can do is pray that it works. So as they leave the village, they receive a letter from Kikuko. It turns out the barrier for Daikoku village was broken. Now, the MC is debating whether he should get involved, but everyone else wants to fight. So he goes along with them and they hurry to the village. At the village, Kikuko and the tycoon meet. She's holding them off in an attempt to protect everyone. Now, she seems outmatched when the NSC shows up. The tycoon expected this, so he brings out the weapon. And it looks like the battle came sooner than they anticipated, so they're going to have to make their plan work. So Enju and Lily distract the other ninjas, and the MC has to protect Akari, Rika, and Miyu. The MC runs in to create a diversion while Rika uses her jutsu. Now she manages to freeze the machine. The machine malfunctions and Ikiru is thrown from it. The MC catches her and Miyu runs over. The MC notices that she's wearing a ring that she didn't have before. Now she looks between Miyu and the MC, and she sees the scroll that Miyu has. Now she takes the scroll and throws it towards the tycoon who is standing atop the weapon. It turns out she was being controlled. Now, he expected that they may try something like that. The tycoon expected this, like going to retrieve one of the scrolls. So he gets ready to charge his lightning, but Enju isn't ready to give up yet. So she charges her lightning as well, and the surroundings become engulfed with a blinding light. And a giant bolt of lightning crashes down on the weapon. And with that, the ice is completely melted and the weapon has mobility again. And Enju lost her powers in the process. Now the tycoon throws the scroll into the weapon's cannon, which multiplies its beast power. And he gets ready to aim at the Momochi clan village. Now out of options, the MC lunges at the weapon. Now he doesn't have the power to stop it, but he tries to at least break its components. Now the tycoon sends his army after him. Since they're all being mind controlled, they have no emotions, so they're not afraid of dying. And the MC can't take the onslaught of punches anymore, so he prepares for death. He hears the sound of swords clashing, and in the light he sees a familiar figure. Afterwards, he loses consciousness. He wakes up in an unknown place with Akari right next to him. As he regains consciousness, the place actually looks familiar. He sees a man in front of him, which turns out to be his dad. Both him and Akari explain what has happened. They managed to save everyone in the village, but the village itself was destroyed. They were able to escape with a form of jutsu. I think they refer to it as an aerial jutsu, where they break down a piece of the barrier and then they launch themselves into the air. I guess that's how that worked. It's interesting. But anyway, Akari also tells him that she was talking to his dad a little bit while he was unconscious. And he originally didn't want to fight the tycoon to protect other villages. If he declared war, then it would have just escalated into a huge conflict, and I guess nobody would have came out of that really unscathed. So now that the weapon is at full power, they're not sure how to stop it. They're not sure they can at this point. Now, the MC's dad says that he can if he knows how to use the Kamui. So, the MC bows to him and asks him to teach him. Now, he says he will, and he asks him to get the girls out of there as things are going to get ugly. Since things are it's going to become a giant battleground. Now, the girls refuse to leave as they have just as much stake in the fight as everyone else. So, the chief asks one of the villagers to give the girls something to do. And then he and the MC leave for training. So, night passes and the two return. Rika, Akari, and Sai were waiting for them. So, they ask him if his training was successful, which it looks like it was. And then he asks what happened to the others. And they all went off to battle. So, they get ready to head to the front lines as well when a shadow appears above them. The weapon drops down from the sky, and the Tycoon steps out from it. He senses that the Kamui is much more powerful now, so the MC aims it right at his face. Again, he was prepared for something like this, so he opens up the hatch on the weapon to reveal Enju and Lily tied up. If he destroys the weapon, then they wouldn't survive. Now, he doesn't want to sacrifice them, so he lowers the blade. He tells the others to run, and the Tycoon prepares to fire upon him. Before the blast hits him, Xena appears and pulls him out of the way. Now, she tells him that she can't put up another barrier, so he should run. The weapon prepares another charge, and the MC isn't sure how he can get Xena out of there too. When all looks lost, Sai steps in. She felt like she was the only one that could stop it at this point. Yeah, she said when hearing about it, she felt like she was going to have to sacrifice herself. Like she felt like there was going to be no other way. So, she thanked the MC for everything that he did for her. Now, the MC tried to stop her, but she slipped away from him. Sai stares down the cannon and activates one of her abilities. She manages to make it to the weapon and grabs Enju and Lily. She tosses them towards the MC. She says goodbye and then disappears into the light. And that is where we left off at this point. That's where we're at now. I'm interested to see what has happened, because I'm wondering if Sai is actually... I feel like Sai has to be alive, because I think she shows up in other seasons. So either that or they rebuild her at some point. I don't know. But let's find out what happened. So, let's get into it. Alright, here we are. Chapter 10, Young Master. Let's see the aftermath of what has transpired. Okay. Sai, no. She disappeared into steam nicely. Sai. I glare up at the Tycoon, who is still on top of the Nine-Tailed Fox weapon. And then... Okay, I think, so I'm on the Akari route this time, because the last time these two popped up between Rika and Akari, I already went for Rika before. So we're on Akari again. And I think this was the Akari choice, if I remember correctly. Because I was looking at a walkthrough for this. Sai sacrificed herself for us.
Mitsuge, we can't afford to give up now.
Akari stands and reaches a hand out to me. Akari?
We can't let Sai's sacrifice be in vain. We have to keep moving forward.
She's right. I don't have the luxury of just stopping right now. I wrap my fingers around hers and stand, letting the warmth of her hand revitalize my spirit. Stubborn children. The Tycoon looks down on us with cold eyes. Tycoon! I thrust the tip of the Kamui at him. I won't squander the chance Sai gave us. Say whatever you like, it's only words. Go, my puppets. Hiya! The Obnubi ninjas who had been standing patiently behind the Nine-Tailed Fox weapon launched into action, attacking us with vigor. The Kamui in that brat's hands is our only threat. Snap it in half. Yes, sir. The Obnubi ninjas draw their swords over their shoulders and ready them one-handed before rushing me. But I don't turn back. I know my friends have got my back.
Frigid damnation, Daigoren.
Rika's ice jutsu creates a wall of ice around us.
Netherworld blaze, the great burning.
Akari's blazing flames create a towering pillar circling the outside of Rika's ice wall. The Obnubi ninjas are stuck on the other side of the two jutsus.
You won't touch him. Mitsuge, now's your chance.
Yeah. I lower the Kamui to a ready position so that the Tycoon is looking down my blade. Taking a deep breath and give myself to the void. It's the only way to summon the true power of the Kamui. Oh shit, so when he was fighting Xena before and he was given into that darkness, that's the only way to... Okay. It's just, if he goes in this time, can he come back? That's the question. How far in can he go before it's too late? The Tycoon touches with annoyance and raises a hand above his head. A hang above... What the fuck? I suppose it can't be helped. I'll have to kill you myself. Nine-tailed fox weapon. Change function. Convert all beast power stored in the cannon into ninja power for me. The beast power flowing from the Tycoon's body suddenly explodes in strength. The Tycoon is absorbing the beast power of the nine-tailed fox weapon to boost his own abilities. Now it's time for you to die. Bolts of lightning dance through the air around the Tycoon. The amount of ninja power he's amassed is easily equal to that of the nine-tailed fox. Okay. Yep, that was a Yukari choice. Alright. He raises a hand above his head. Namas, glorious Yaksha, Lord Sakra, grant me your ways for he shall obey. The sky begins to roar as turbulent thunder clouds swirl above the Tycoon, blocking out the sun. There's sun right now? Heed my call, Vajrayaksa. A flash of blue-white light cracks the sky in half above the Tycoon. The display of power in front of me could have come from Olympus itself, but my heart is still. I hold the Kamui with both hands and turn my focus inwards. I'm thinking about what my dad told me, how to use the power of the Kamui. Okay, so we're going to find out what he learned in training then. Okay. Are you listening? You won't be able to use the Kamui just by focusing and emptying your mind. It tests your will. It wants to know how willing you are to put your life on the line and throw everything else away. If you're willing to do that, and honestly willing to do that, then the Kamui won't devour you, and you can use its power. Oh, okay. So, my idiot son, are you willing? Am I? Am I willing? Of course I am. If someone wants to hurt my friends, I'll protect them. And I'm willing to give everything to do it. All ye, no fear, for ye are astray. I am the venom and the antidote. My blade shall destroy all within this righteous quote. Rin pyo to sha kaijin retsu zaizen. Obey my summons time and time again. Come forth, evil destroyer. I calmly slice the empty air before me. My attack pushes the Tycoon's lightning back towards him. The attack is a divine judgment, punishing a devil who dared to pretend he was a god. That's the power of the Kamui. Binding yourself to the nine-tailed fox weapon was your downfall, Tycoon. What? The power of the nine-tailed fox! The sound of something breaking irreparably reverberates from the inside of the nine-tailed fox weapon. The energy is leaching out of the weapon, which once seemed invincible and majestic. Gah! The Tycoon is swallowed by the beast power of the nine-tailed fox that he unleashed himself, and slowly disappears in a giant ball of light. It's over. No, not yet. Blood of the nine-tailed fox, though I lose my own flesh, grant me a body to move. Oh shit. Tycoon! The Tycoon becomes one with the blood of the nine-tailed fox, and his body disintegrates, leaving nothing but his soul. The ghostly existence that is now the Tycoon floats in midair and tries to escape. I will find a new body and be reborn. So long. Damn it, I can't let him escape. I have to erase his existence entirely. I can't leave the job half done. Ha ha ha, farewell suckers. What? This guy. I don't think so, old man. It's over. Sinister beast power overflows darkly in the air. It feels just like the beast power of the nine-tailed fox that we once fought against. What the hell? What is that? Oh. Oh. The Tycoon's soul is being sucked in by the sinister beast power of the nine-tailed fox. Oh, the beast seal scroll. It's lost control now the weapon has stopped. Blood of the nine-tailed fox. Do you mean to devour me? Ugh. Gah! Tycoon's soul is completely swallowed by the sinister beast power of the nine-tailed fox. Akari, Miyu.
Right, Izumo, I'm counting on you. Nine-tailed fox, be sealed within the scroll.
The Izumo in Akari's hand shines brightly, suppressing the beast power of the nine-tailed fox.
Nine-tailed fox, be bound to me. Seal.
Grar. The beast power of the nine-tailed fox coils around the beast seal scroll and eventually completely disappears into the scroll. The scroll wraps itself up neatly and returns to Miyu's hand.
It's sealed away.
What happened to the Tycoon? That old geezer absorbed the beast power of the nine-tailed fox and turned himself into a demon. Otherwise, the beast seal scroll wouldn't have reacted to him, since it's a scroll for sealing familiars away. Now that he's part of the nine-tailed fox, he'll be trapped. He won't be able to leave the scroll. Oh, okay. Phew. I lower the Kamui and sigh loudly in relief. My whole body is completely stiff. I guess I'm using the true power of the Kamui. But I can't just keel over yet.
Mitsuge. Mitsuge.
Akari and Rika run to my side. Akari, Rika, are you hurt?
Nope, I'm fine. Fine. Are you alright, Mitsuge-senpai?
Yeah, I'm glad you're safe too, Miyu. Enju and Lily still haven't woken up since Sai saved them from the nine-tailed fox weapon. But I'm sure they'll wake up soon if we just wait. All that's left is... What's up with that sourpuss face, huh? I thrust the Kamui towards my dad. What's this about? It belongs to the village, right? I'm giving it back to you. What? Pfft, no, none of that. We don't frickin' want it. Why? It's yours now. You need to take responsibility for it. Don't ever throw a tantrum and give it away again. You need to bear the burden of being its bearer, at least until you find someone you can pass it on to. You're the first Ronin ninja ever to have it, but that doesn't mean you can cause trouble for the village. I won't help you if you do. Dad. Otosan! And I'm authorizing you, your Ronin ninja butt, to visit the village for New Year's and the Bon season, idiot son of mine. He waves gaily at me and heads back to the Araya household. Stubborn old man. Thank you. All I can do is give him my respect.
Mitsuge, what should we do with the Ikiru-san?
Akari's voice brings you back to the present. Good question. Ikiru's still unconscious, just like the two girls Sai saved. Alright, let's get out of this village and get her to a hospital. But how long will it take us to get out of these mountains and arrive at a proper hospital? Before I can think of a solution, one of my dad's minions appears on my side. Young Master Mitsuge, please leave Misakiru's care to us. Huh? We will have the fastest runner in the village deliver her to the hospital in the city. Young Master Mitsuge, please stay in the house with your friends tonight and recover your strength. Ah, so now that he saved the village, he's proved his worth, so...
Mitsuge, we should take him up on the offer. Andrew and Lily-san both need to rest still, you know.
You're right. We'll stay in the village overnight, but... I've got one request. Yes, what is it? We're not staying in the Araya house. Let us stay at the old hag's place, Kikoko Hattori's house. Understood. He hauls Ikiru onto his back and carries her out of the village. That night, the Daikoku village held a spur-of-the-moment festival. Apparently it was to celebrate the Tycoon's defeat. In the midst of the festivities, Enju and I inspect the husk of the nine-tailed fox weapon. Mitsuge, what's it like over there? I think this is the hatch. Here, it looks like it should open. I open the hatch on the turret and look inside. I wonder if there's something inside. I'll go and check. Wait here for me. I lower myself into the weapon and carefully make my way around the darkness. The inside of the weapon looks just like the inside of a normal tank. It's not as spacious as you'd expect from the size. The electric systems are obviously burnt out. I doubt it'll ever move again. So this is what it was like inside. I muttered to myself as I moved from the turret to the cabin and sit in the driver's seat. What's that? A folded piece of paper is taped to the dashboard just beside the steering column. I removed the tape and opened the note. Dear Enju. Dear Enju, I'm writing this letter with the hope that one day you will read it. I have no idea if you will use the Nine-Tailed Fox weapon or destroy it. However, I believe that you will always choose the right path. Oh, that's cool. I'm writing this on your birthday. I wonder how old you will be when you read this letter. Happy birthday, my dear. No matter how far we are, I am always praying for you to find happiness. Love, Kiri no Sayonji. I exit the Nine-Tailed Fox weapon and see Enju waiting for me, looking perturbed. Mitsuge, did you find something? I hold the letter out to her. What's that? It's a letter addressed to you. I think it's from your mom. From my mother? Let me see. Enju's eyes rove over the words written on the paper greedily. It really is. That's my mother's writing. She hangs her head, the letter gripped tightly in her hand. Mother. My new tremors rack her shoulders. I wrap my arms around her. Enju, your mom believed in you. Yeah.
Mitsuge, Enju, the bonfire's about to start.
Akari calls us to join the festivities. Come on, Enju, let's go see.
Okay.
Wow. Kind of tearing up a little bit there. That was actually pretty nice. A giant bonfire is blazing in the square, and the village ninjas are all gathered around it. I stand to the side and gaze at the flames.
Mitsuge, do you have a minute?
Lily comes to stand beside me, looking even more serious than normal. What's up?
Several members of the Onubi Board of Directors just arrived in Daikoku Village. The chief, your father, is apparently meeting with them right now.
The Onubi Board of Directors? They answer to the tycoon, right?
Well, yes, but they're saying that the tycoon went rogue and acted alone in the Nine-Tailed Fox weapon. Onubi, the organization itself, didn't have anything to do with it. Basically, they intended to wash their hands of it and using him as a scapegoat.
What? Are they going to be able to talk their way out of it?
Most people wouldn't think so. That's probably why they rushed here to plead their excuses.
What do they want to talk to my dad about?
Probably compensation for the damage and inconvenience caused to other villages.
The business world is all about compensation.
Not just the business world. Part of being an adult is keeping score and staying on top of the consequences of your actions. But I don't want to think about that tonight. Tonight I want to just enjoy the fight being over.
Lily smiles softly and walks towards the bonfire. It's night. The sun set while I was talking to Lily. The village is lit by flaming torches, making it seem surreal and magical. The night breeze is cool, and there's a hint of autumn on the air. I suddenly find myself feeling sentimental. Mitsuge. I suddenly hear a voice calling to me. Interesting. Challenge a checkpoint. Show me your ninja tool. I just bought one of these in the... Oh my god. Okay. Well, I got enough. You see, this is where the damn pay-to-play aspect gets annoying. Because if you're trying to play for free, I think they give you, what, 150 jewels every 10 days? So in like 1 month, that's like 450. And then if you're trying to grind out this in 1 month, and if you don't have any story tickets, you're going to need jewels. And then jewels, you end up paying like, I think 1,000 and something just to get through all these premium stories. You know, I said this in the beginning, like, the way they set this up is really ridiculous. But whatever. I mean, at least I have enough to do it. So, not a huge loss. Oh, I have to accept... Fucking hell. Ugh. Alright, give me a second. Okay. God damn it. It's stupid that you have to accept it just to move on. I don't get that. Yes. Oh, Akari. Hey. Akari sits down next to me and grins. This might be a good thumbnail. Okay.
You did well today, Mitsuge.
You too, Akari.
I didn't do as much as you. I didn't even punch anybody.
The fighting was pretty hard, both physically and mentally. But you were still important.
I know. I'm glad that Daikoku village is safe.
Okay, so the village wasn't totally destroyed, it's just... most of it was. Okay. Me too.
Huh?
What?
I wasn't expecting you to admit it so easily.
What's that supposed to mean?
You ran away from here, right? You wanted to quit being a ninja.
I've come to realize that I can't deny the part of me that's a ninja. But you probably don't want to hear me talk about it.
What? No, I'm happy to hear it.
She smiles in the light of the bonfire.
Mitsuge, you're you, nobody else.
My heart starts pounding and I instinctively look away, trying to get some distance. It doesn't work as Akari leans her head on my shoulder. Akari?
Thank goodness we won.
The light of the flickering flames makes Akari look more mature than usual. I lift a hand and ruffle her hair.
Hey, Mitsuge. The bonfire's beautiful.
Yeah, I've seen it plenty of times before, though.
Do you think we would have grown up watching the bonfire together if I had been born here?
If Akari had grown up here... I'd never really thought about it before, but if things were different, then she would have. If her parents had never left the village, we could have been childhood friends.
Never mind, we need to treasure the here and now.
Yeah, you're right. Well, that was pretty nice. That was a previous story. It was okay. Not worth the damn jewels, but whatever.
Mitsuge, Akari.
Rika walks up to us. Akari quickly sits up straight, but Rika's mouth has already dropped open. She sits herself down on my other side, so close that she's almost on top of me. You're squishing me.
Hey, Rika, Mitsuge's too squished. Give him a little space. Nope, sitting here. You give him space.
Ugh. Don't argue with me in the middle. I got to distract them somehow. Am I making the right decision? Am I making the right decision? Akari rests her head on my shoulder again and nods.
You're a good person, Mitsuge. I don't think you're wrong on this.
Oh. Thanks, Akari. Summer vacation's almost over.
It's sad. Had no fun. We've still got plenty of time to enjoy.
We still have to do our homework.
Ah!
Rika, don't tell me you've already finished yours.
Burn it down. Misaki School. Destroy proof of homework.
Quit that. You don't have to be so violent about it. Okay, our summer is ending. And as the season leaves, it quietly takes other people out of our lives with it. At the hospital, several days ago, Ikeda woke up and left her room to stand in the courtyard. I never thought they would save me. We never heard of Ikeda again. I was hoping that she would become an ally to see what happened. Because she seems like a skilled fighter, but... she probably wanted to distance herself away from that after all that's happened. Can't blame her. Okay. The first day of the second semester is finally here. Oh, what happened to Xena? That's another one that I hope would stick around too, because she seems interesting.
Oni-chan?
Huh? A familiar voice rings in my ears and a small body crashes into mine and holds on tightly.
Oni-chan, I missed you.
Sai? What? How?
Hehe, surprise, Mitsuge Oni-chan.
I am disappointed that the Wilder the Kamui is so easily bewildered. There she is. Empress? Don't call me that. I have nothing to do with Onubi now. So there she is. Okay. Interesting. Oh yeah, she's not the Empress anymore. Wait, that's not what I should be focusing on. Sai died. How is she here, and why are you here?
Sai is an android. She can be rebuilt as long as her memory storage is undamaged.
Okay, this is what I would speculate. Like, they were probably going to rebuild her.
I built a new body for her.
But why?
Enju and Akari asked me to. They're the daughters of the only true friends I've ever had. Of course I said yes.
She snorts and looks away. Xena?
This Sai wasn't created for the Nine-Tailed Fox weapon. She's been reincarnated as the girl who was your friend.
Thank you so much. Hang on a second, wait. What are you doing here in my school?
I left Onubi and my crow organization was destroyed. I didn't have anything to go back to. Kuzuryu said I can take on a support role for a while if I wanted. I've moved in as Sai's guardian, and you'll be seeing a lot of me.
What? Are you serious?
Huh. Mitsuke, you didn't know? We all knew.
Enju, Lily. I turned around to see Enju and Lily smirking at me. Why didn't you tell me?
Good morning, how are... Ah, Sai! Hi, Akawi. Well, your uniform looks really good on you. Thanks.
You knew too?
Hehe, I wanted to surprise you.
Well, I was pretty surprised. I'm still trying to process what's going on when Sai stands up straight.
Time for a proper introduction. I'm Sai Tokakushi. As a semester 2, I'm now a first-year student at Misaki School. I'm your kohai, Oni-chan.
Huh?
Hey.
Sai reaches her hand up and waves enthusiastically.
Wika, Miu, good morning. Oh, Sai, good morning. And good morning, Senpai. Morning, Sai.
Rika and Miu normally meet up in the mornings on their way to school, but neither looks surprised to see Sai alive. So everybody knew but the main character. That's funny. Okay. So I'm seriously the only one who didn't know. Come on, this isn't fair. She's your neighbor, Akari? So she's your neighbor now, Akari?
Yeah.
You seem happy about it. Doesn't Xena live there too, though? I'm actually kind of curious how Akari will handle living next to that woman. But Akari dismisses all my worries with a smile.
It's alright, Mom's at home, remember?
Oh yeah, and your mom grew up with Xena, right?
Yeah, they're still a bit awkward around each other, though. But my mom seems really, really happy to have her next door. I'm happy to have Sai so close by, too. Right now, I love my life.
She smiles as brightly as the sun. That's good to hear. I pat her lightly on the head.
Oof, what?
Nothing. I've been thinking about it ever since this morning. Ugh, can't believe that's how the new semester started. Oh, and how would that be? Johnny! Yeah, we haven't seen him this whole season. I'm alive. Good morning, my best buddy. He thumps me on the back, making me choke. God, Johnny, you're out of the hospital. Are you all better? Haha, just take a look. I didn't get to work out much in the hospital though, so I feel like an old man. He strikes an action man pose, heedless of his gangly build. I almost miss being annoyed at such high volumes every day. I'm glad he seems fully recovered, but I wish he'd keep his voice down a bit. So, did you miss me? Not really, I kind of forgot about you actually. What's your name again? No, I'm John Spicer, your best buddy. He clings to me dramatically. Get off, it's too hot for this. Don't be so mean. Do you want to try out the rare body pillow I got from a visitor in the hospital? Did you hug it while you were in the hospital? Heck yes. Dude. Ha, looks like you guys are getting along as well as ever. Why would you even think that? Oh, hey. Is that Yamabuki? Wow, we actually maxed... I've never seen it maxed out before. Yep, called it.
It's nice to see everybody looking so alive. I'm glad I came back. Hello, it's been a while.
Yamabuki, when did you get back?
Like yesterday, Rumor Mill said that the problem with Onubi was finished, so I came back. I missed y'all. Did everyone's boobs get bigger over summer, or is it just my imagination?
You only just said hi. You have to start the sexual harassment already? You know, I kind of like this thumbnail a little bit better. Because it shows the whole group. The whole gang's here. Yeah, there we go.
Suo-san, I was worried about you. Where were you? Me? Couch surfing at a few friends' places. I had a lot of problems, really. No matter where I went, Obnubi would catch up, so I ended up going farther and farther north. Oh yeah, here, I took some pictures. Yamabuki shows us her phone. It's a picture of Yamabuki wearing an onsen yukata and eating a crab at some ryokan inn. Good summer vacation photo. Ah, that looks like so much fun. Yamabuki, show me some more pictures of your travels. Sure.
Ring. The bell rings for the start of lessons. The classroom is chaos. And so, my longest summer vacation ever finally ended, and a new term is beginning. Being a student is fun, busy, and a little bittersweet. And that's what I'm back to being from today. Huh, you lot. What are you doing in the classroom? First day of semester. Semester opening ceremony. Over to the assembly hall, now. Aww. Okay.
Well done, you completed Season 8. Thank you. This next episode preview is brought to you by me, Akari Hano. And me, Rika Machiyuki. This was a hard chapter, but we all managed to make it out safely. Even Sai, good. Alright, Season 8 is finally finished. We're back at school and about to start the second semester. But before we move on to the next story, you have to join us for endings. Summer vacation story with Akari, summer vacation story with me, and one with nobody in particular. We have no idea which ending you'll end up in, Mitsuge. But since we didn't get much time to ourselves this vacation, let's make sure...
Ugh, God, excuse me.
Let's make sure we make the most out of the little time we got at the end. Our vacation coming. Thank you for sticking with us for so long.
I can't do my original Akari voice anymore. I'm just now... Because no matter how hard I try, I just can't get that high. Because I used to be high... It used to sound... Because it used to sound like this, yeah.
I used to talk like this, yeah. Very much. This final next episode preview was brought to you by me, Akari.
Nah, that's not the voice.
And me, Rika. See you next season.
I'd have to go back and actually hear what voice I used to use in the beginning. See if I can replicate it. Okay. So, we maxed out Akari, so we're going to be going for her in the next video. I'm excited to see what happens. Obnubi raids sketch Lily. Interesting. And Akari ninja in the shell. Alrighty guys, well, I think that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed it, you can let me know by leaving a like or telling me in the comments below. Subscribe for more, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Alright, peace.